Does your relationship feels like it's somehow missing a bit of the intimacy that you used to have? Do you sometimes feel like you're more two strangers passing by in this big house, or that you are just parents and you've forgotten what it's like to be intimate, to cultivate this part of your relationship? If that's you, today's video is going to help you to increase the intimacy in your relationship with some simple tips that you can take into actions right away to shift things around in your relationship. I am Céline Remy, the Intimacy Angel, and I am here to help you bring your sexy back in life. If you are new to my channel, make sure you subscribe and give this video a thumbs up to tell me that you enjoyed it. Intimacy and feeling close to your partner is something that needs to be cultivated. It's not something that just happens by accident. You don't just set it and forget it. Your relationship is like a plant. It needs some regular watering, feeding, extra feeding from time to time, pruning, and there are times of growth and there are times that is more of an inward phase. So it's normal. It's not like a linear thing. It's a little bit more of this circular motion, and sometimes things are really good, sometimes less good, but as long as you are going in the right direction of focusing on cultivating the love and the intimacy, that's all that matters. So my first step to help you grow the intimacy again is to focus on doing something new together. So try something new together. It could be anything that you want to do, whether it's a cooking class or it's a new hiking spot or a new route that you're taking to go to your favorite restaurant. Whatever that is, try something new, because the newness will bring up the creativity. That creativity is that life force energy that is very similar to your sexual energy as well. And so when things feel a little bit more stale and bland, bringing in some newness. Now, you don't have to read the entire Kama Sutra, but just shift things around and do that together, even if it's sitting at different seats at the table. It's a matter of moving the energy, shifting things, and doing that together. My tip number 2 is to take some of your favorite pictures together and put them into photo albums. You know, the old kind where you used to still look at photos when they were into a book. Nowadays, we take all our photos digitally and we just kind of like live them in the clouds and don't take the time to look at them. What can make a big difference is to remember the good times. So print down some of your favorite photos and sit down and look at the good times you had. Go for your photo albums, look at your vacation you had there or some of your favorite moments, and spend time together talking about this and remembering how good you felt at that time. My tip number 3 is to touch more. Most people, when they don't feel so intimate, they've grown apart and they forgot to even touch, to kiss, to hug. And when you touch for at least about 6 seconds at least, especially if you have a kiss, just so that you can start to feel the connection that's restarting. Anything shorter really won't do it, but give yourself permission to touch each other more. So rather than sitting at opposite end of the couch, snuggle up together. Next time you go on a walk, hold each other's hands. Next time one of you leaves the house, give each other a big hug and a big kiss, and hold that kiss for 6 good seconds so that you can feel the juiciness of it. My tip number 4 is to speak each other's love language. When you speak each other's love language, you feel really loved. When you feel really loved, then it's easier to give because your cup is full. If you are not receiving what you need, it's going to be a strain to want to give that to your partner. So both make a commitment to speak each other's love language. If you are not fully familiar with the love languages, check out Gary Chapman, The 5 Love Languages, or listen to the Love Lab podcast where we talk about that in much more depth so that you can know which one is your love language and which one is your partner's love language, and then commit to speaking each other's love language on a daily basis. And if you're not sure, ask your partner, have each other's make a list of little ways that you could help each other feel loved, and exchange that list so that you both know how to take a small daily action to keep the love growing. My tip number 5 to keep the intimacy and let it grow is to schedule a weekly date night or date afternoon. I don't care what time you do it, as long as it's in the calendar and that you show up for it. We put all of our important things in the calendar, but somehow most people don't matter to put their relationship on the calendar. So schedule a date night, schedule sex, even if it's not as spontaneous or fun or romantic. What would you rather do? Show up for a scheduled sex date or not have any sex at all? I know which one I would choose. So make sure you commit to having this every single week in your calendar and show up. It doesn't matter if you feel great or not so great, just show up and be with each other just as you are, because that's called life. My tip number 6 is to appreciate each other on a daily basis. Most of the time we tend to focus on the things we don't like about each other, the things that are not working, the things that stress us out, and that's what we do. We complain and we focus on all of these things. That does not foster intimacy. If you switch things around, turn the tables around, and start to focus on appreciation and the things that you appreciate about each other, you are going to start to see each other's with new eyes. So commit to sharing with each other at least 3 things you appreciate about one another on a daily basis, and watch your relationship blossom. And my last tip is to support each other and be each other's cheerleaders. You know, when you feel like you are at opposites and you're not working together, that does not foster that connection and that intimacy. But if you feel like you've got each other's back and you're here for each other, that's how the intimacy can grow. Now remember, you are a team. You've chosen to be together, so act like one. If you apply these tips, it's going to help you keep the intimacy, connection, and love alive in your relationship. It never will have to die. Of course, there will be ebbs and flow, but you know exactly how to redirect anytime that you feel like you are not going in the direction that you want. Thank you so much for watching today's video. I hope it was helpful, and I will see you in my next video.